What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Linares.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. Jonathan, how's your Sunday going? We have not texted one time today, so it's a little weird for us. We had our snap streak, just usual picture back and forth. But I mean, typically we're texting, So how's your Sunday been?
It's been pretty good. Started off with a nice ball sesh. I was unconscious from three today, which is a great sign for the Range Brothers season starting next week, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, today should have been our first game. Scheduling issues on the league's end, so no Range Brothers update. Sorry to disappoint every single fan. That I know that's why you're here pretty much. So
Yeah, they're here for the Range Brothers, not for Second Ave. But yeah, it was a great sesh. Shout out to the other Range Brothers pulled up to the sesh. RTGB, Ben, and Charles Davino, of course. So it was a nice little Range Brothers showing at the session today. Yeah, other than that, pretty good. In a fantasy football championship playing right now. Should be locking that up here shortly. And I don't want to get you while you're down here, but man, I think we got to talk about last week's fantasy championship between us. I feel
yeah,
like you have more feelings about this. Like,
yeah. So I mean, just to set the scene, I think the last time we talked about fantasy football, I was 3-5. I was ready to throw in the towel. After that, just went on an absolute tear. Went from 3-5, finished the regular season 6-5, went made my way to the championship, beat the one seed, smoked the one seed, wasn't even close. And then 30-point lead in the championship, and unfortunately I blew it. It lost by point 0.8, so just a very very competitive game there. But
crazy.
so this is my own league. I'm commissioner. I mean, every year the league's been around 3 years, three second place finishes. So
Mm.
I'm just defeated. I lost. I won to Johnny the first year the league was invented, and then Chris Catron beat me last year. Shout out Chris if you're listening. And yeah, man, uh, I just disappointing, of course. I mean, I don't want to talk about it much more than that.
Yeah.
My they're calling. I'm on the hot seat. I every year I have bad regular seasons. My regular season record 21-18, but three championship appearances, three second place finishes though as well. So
Yeah.
they don't know. I mean, the fans don't know what they want. It's love hate relationship with them. So yeah, I think
It's
that's the end of
tough.
this presser.
Yeah, that's the end of the presser. Like you said, though, I mean, I feel good in that league. Two championships in 3 years of the league. And I think the other year I got like fifth or ninth or something. I don't think I made the playoffs. So I'm either winning it all or not doing too hot. But I do have an all-time losing record, which is crazy, even with winning two championships. Like this year, I was 5-6, snuck into the playoffs, and took it home. But I had like the second most points scored in the league. So I thought if I got in, I'd be all right. And
Yeah,
that's what happened.
me and Nick Hofer. Nick was the one seed. He 13-1 or what 10-1 I think. I'm not sure. We were talking last night. He's like, yeah, I mean, you and Johnny like just barely made it in, and I mean, nobody wanted to play you guys after that. We were putting up crazy numbers. So,
Yeah.
um, I'm like the '90s Bills, basically.
Ooh,
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see if we can make it four in a row, just like they did. So we'll see.
sickening stuff. Maybe next year we'll see.
I think that's about it. Fantasy football. I want to talk about it for another 9 months, or I don't know what exactly it is. So us get into it. We got a banger today. Our most anticipated albums of
Yes, sir.
2024. So, yeah, this was a good one last year. This is always a good one. Third time doing this, three-peat here. So, uh, I mean, you got anything you say before we go in?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite episodes of the year. It really gets me excited for the year we have coming. A lot of the albums we talked about last year didn't end up coming out, which is tragic. So hopefully we have a little bit better luck this year from some of the heavy hitters we're going to be talking about today. When I was sort of thinking about who my 10 would be, I had a list of like 15 or more. I don't know. It was a pretty lengthy list. And I was just thinking, I was like, okay, if every one of these albums dropped, what would I be most excited for? And so that was how I cut it down. And I have a pretty good list. I'm going to say off rip right now. I'm not going to say Frank Ocean. As happy as I'd be for Frank Ocean, I'm 2024 resolution, not being delusional about Frank Ocean dropping.
Yeah,
Although I'm sure I'll convince myself like two of the 50 Fridays left in the year, Frank Ocean's going to drop.
he'll he'll
So,
put
so we'll
the
see.
he'll post an Instagram story and the hype will be all back. Just a random Instagram story, just
Yeah.
fucking shopping at Whole Foods or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, in 2012, when Frank Ocean posted Whole Foods in the third Tuesday of the year last time, he dropped. So
Yeah, there's a single that week, so so we'll see. Um, yeah, very excited for the year though. Um, we're not gonna have news in this week's episode. There really wasn't much happening, not really releases. So come back next week and we'll talk about anything that happens in the next week. But yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna go through 10. There's gonna be some overlap, so you might only hear 16 different names or 14 different names or whatever. I don't know his list. So excited to get into it though. You want to kick us off here with your first?
yeah. So this is one I was like, oh, we are for sure getting this album last year. We got Don't Be Dumb, ASAP Rocky.
Yep.
The hype for this was at an all time high. He had Riot last year, and then I mean in New York he was playing a lot of this shit, and I mean it sounded good. New York Rolling Loud, 2022. That was a phenomenal experience for me. We talked about that a long time ago, so that episode's out there if you want to go listen to that. But this is one. You had the Super Bowl ad, fucking those are millions of dollars, stuff like that. And I mean, it seemed like all but confirmed we were getting this album like quarter one, quarter two last year. So I mean, hopefully we get it this year. I'm gonna be saying hopefully a lot because I feel like the thing in rap now or music now is coming soon. And there's it's just all hope at this point. Like I feel like dates get moved back so much. It's a Kanye effect. So, but
Yeah.
I would love a Rocky project.
I would love a Rocky project. I was bumping a couple Rocky songs the past week. One Train, Phoenix, a lot of the Long Live ASAP era songs. And I was just thinking, man, I need this one. It's been a while since I've really been bumping Rocky like that, but Rocky really was like one of my favorite rappers when I was in high school. So need something new from him. Uh Another one I gotta go shout to. Excuse me, I was listening to that. Oh, first time in
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I heard it. But wow, great track.
We're 6 years off testing at this point. Yes, this will be the sixth year, so that it's more than due to I mean get a release. So Kendrick's 5 years felt like a long time. We're at six already. So
Yeah, I feel like the only difference is Rocky at least like has dropped a couple singles here and there. You're like, okay, we're getting a little taste. But yeah, I need the whole project from Rocky. I'm fairly confident we're gonna get it. I would be shocked if we don't get it this year. But we were saying that last year too, so we'll see.
yeah,
Okay, I did have ASAP Rocky, like I said, on my list, so I'll go into one that I'm fairly confident you're not gonna have on your list, Tyler the Creator.
not on mine.
Yeah, this will be the year. This will be the album that you come around to being a Tyler fan. I don't know. Are we getting a Tyler album? He was on the schedule where he was dropping an album every 2 years for ever, for like his whole career. Flower Boy 2017, Igor 2019, Call Me If You Get Lost 2021, 2023. We got the Call Me If You Get Lost estate sale. That was great. I love it. Fantastic songs, but I wanted that full album. And so now I'm wondering, is that going to be the 2023 release and now we don't get anything until 2025, or are we to get something this year to kind of switch up the trend we've been seeing? I don't know, but all I know is I need new music from Tyler. I needed it yesterday. I'm going to need it in 3 days. I'm going to need it until we get it, and I'll be happy with whatever it is.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you know me, I'm not too big into Tyler or anything, but with that, I feel like the estate sale, yes, that was nice. I mean, for you Tyler fans there, and I mean, I could say this confidently. I'm not a big huge Tyler guy, but each album, it's a completely separate thing. The estate sale would be an appetizer, and then it's nice to have the new music, but you kind of want just something completely separate and see what his next move is. So.
Yeah, especially because like one of the tracks was a demo. Some of them were just shorter. They weren't all on the same level as the Call Me If You Get Lost tracks. Obviously, Sorry Not Sorry was my track of the year. I also really loved Wharf Talk. I loved a couple of them, Heaven to Me, but yeah, I just need the full project. And it's very exciting anticipating a Tyler album because you don't know what you're excited for. It could sound totally different from anything he's done. And that's what excites me the most about whatever he would have coming.
All right, moving on to my second pick here. We got The Fall Off by J. Cole. This one's been heavily teased for years now. I mean, pretty much since the off season. And the first person shooter, that's the one. the fall off line there, fall off bar. Um, I mean, it's just J. Cole project. J. Cole really doesn't miss. You're gonna hear our thoughts, on For Your Eyes Only, either this week, or the following week, or the one after that. So, I mean, we'll get into it a little bit, but I mean, J. Cole's another one where you just know what you're gonna get. Like, I feel like when he's releasing an album, it's gonna be an album of the year contender. Like I said that confidently. So I mean, I'd expect to see this year. How about you?
I got the fall off on my list as well. It's J. Cole. If
Yeah.
you are expecting an album from Kendrick, J. Cole, or Drake, I feel like it's going to have to be on the most anticipated albums list just because of who they are and their track record. I would throw Kanye in there as well, although I actually don't have him on my list today. I don't know if you do. We'll get into that later. But yeah, J. Cole, one of the big dogs for a reason. He's a star. He's one of the best of our generation, no question. And like you said, this is an album that's been teased for so long. And so there's definitely going to be some high expectations for everybody, it feels like. So, I mean, we'll see what it ends up being. But whatever it is, I'm ready. It's going to be tough if this is J. Cole's last album. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of feels like it could go that way.
Yeah, I mean, they've been talking about what ordering those out, the offseason fall off. It's a boy potentially as well. So with that though, I mean, like I guess closing thoughts on it, like the feature run J. Cole's been on for the past 5 years is phenomenal. But even since the offseason came out in 2021, like and I mean, since we started this podcast, it was the following year after the offseason. I've been very heavy on J. Cole is the best in the game right now. So, I mean, an album to back that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I really would. He's shown that he's as sharp as ever. Johnny P's caddy,
first
person shooter. Then even more recently, like Secret
D-Day.
Recipe, D-Day. Obviously, he was doing his thing. A lot of great moments from J. Cole, even though there hasn't been an album. So as much as I do need that album, at least he's kind of been like in the public eye, still putting some stuff out. So yeah, can't complain with J. Cole because I know when he does drop, it'll be special. It'll be a moment. So that's all I can ask for. All right, my next album I have here, I got The Weeknd. This is another one I'm never too sure like his plan when he's going to drop, but he's been teasing at it for a minute. He says we're in the midst of the trilogy, the second trilogy, obviously alluding back to the early mixtape trilogy. And now we're in the new trilogy with After Hours, Dawn FM, and then whatever this final project is going to be called. Potentially called Afterlife, I think. They mention it in one of like the radio type skits on the outros of one of the songs on Dawn FM. I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure Afterlife, which would go very well with After Hours as well too. So I would not be shocked if that was the name they went with. Whatever it's going to be though, excited. It's going to be a moment when he drops. The man has 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify and he hasn't dropped a new album.
Yeah,
which is crazy. So when he drops, as long as it is up to the standard, I feel like even if it's not up to the standard, it's going to do crazy numbers no matter what. I saw a rumor that he has a song with Taylor Swift that's going to come out, which that would go stupid probably. The Swifties would be rocking with that 100 million. We're bumping it up to 115. So yeah, whatever he's going to do, I'm loving the 80s type sounds we've been getting. And if he keeps with that, or he goes back to something else he's been doing, or he does something totally new, whatever he does, I'm on board. I fully trust Abel.
Yeah. So The Weeknd didn't make my list, but I mean, it's very like, it's very comparable to J. Cole, where he did his thing in his younger year. He had Trilogy, Beauty Behind the Madness, although he had he had that run early in the game, but now he's playing the best ball of his career potentially, Dawn FM and I'm blanking. Help me.
After Hours.
You just said it. After Hours. Yeah. He like, I went through. I mean, maybe a month or two ago, and kind of gave everything a re-listen, or not an in-depth listen or anything, but like I mean, those got to be up there in his discography. After Hours, fire. I mean, I know you're huge on that, so.
Oh yeah,
been getting a little more bump. So
yeah, whatever he does, it's gonna be huge. So I'm ready. What's your next album we got here?
We got The Butcher. We got Everybody Can't Go. Benny the Butcher. I told you I'm trying to tap into the Griselda boys a little bit more. So this will This will be a big one. We just talked about Johnny P's Caddy. Coming off Tana Talk 4 though, great project. So and he had Big Dog, he had the song with Still Got Cooks. The singles look nice so far, and that's one we're gonna get. I mean, hopefully within the next month. So I think it's the
Yeah.
26th.
Yeah.
Uh,
All those Griselda guys, they drop pretty frequently. So Benny is
yeah.
not going to make my list, but I am very excited for Benny. All right. My next artist is Vince Staples. I've been waiting for Vince for a minute. I feel like he was on the album a year, and not to be greedy, but that's what I got used to with him. And that's
Uh-huh.
what I expect. And then we didn't get it last year, which is fine. As long as he's taking his time and he's putting out something nice, he's always going to put out something good. Um, Maybe this is the year we also get the Vince Staples Netflix show that's been talked about since we started the podcast. You never know. I'll be happy if we get both of those this year, though. Vince, one of the most underrated rappers, no question to me. He is so talented, just so charismatic, and I feel like he just needs one big moment, one big song to really like take that leap into like superstardom. Like I think he's definitely very popular. He's very well liked among all the rappers, but I feel like he's not like a household name. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
between some of the music coming out this year potentially, as well as the Netflix show, I think he could become that household name. And like truly, like this might be a stretch, but like one like the voices of the generation, both like just culturally, like the way he talks on Twitter, and then what the show would be, just people talking about him as well as the music, just being a part of people's lives.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a conversation between me, you, and Brandon we have all the time, or once every few times we hang out. Why is Vince Staples not a superstar? A high B tier, potentially, A tier, maybe it's a little high, but I mean, why is he
Yeah.
not at that high B tier already? So, coming off Ramona Park broke my heart. That's my 2022 album of the year, I believe, or yeah,
It's up
it
there.
was okay.
Yeah.
It's either that or almost dry.
I think
I
it's
slept.
almost dry. It was it's
Yeah,
almost dry. You pulled out the shirt.
I've slept since then. So,
Yeah.
but a top two album, and then Vince Staples, another phenomenal project. So, yeah, I'm eager to hear it as well. So,
Was that one on your list?
it was not.
Oh, okay. See, I'm glad because some of these I thought truly we could have like
Yeah,
8 of
we
the 10 the
three.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're gonna have some variety here. What's your next one?
This one I am expecting on your list for my number 4 here. We got Starline Gallery by Chance the Rapper.
Yep, that was my next
Okay.
one I was gonna go into actually.
Oh,
So it's a
perfect.
good timing.
Man, so Chance, the Big Day hasn't had a project since the Big Day. What was that? 2018.
Yeah, 2018, 2019. I kind of put that in the back of my
Behind
memory.
you.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, since then, he was a little quiet for a few years there. I mean, not really singing as frequently. And then 2022, this feels like forever ago. We went through that whole 2023 without much. The highs and the lows of Joey Badass. That was a top 25 or top 50 song for
Great
us.
track.
So fucking good. What else did he come with that year? Single was.
He also had a bar about a bar. He had
Mhm.
Child of God. He had some good tracks, a lot of singles, but the highs and the lows, obviously, that's the one that people like talk about
Yeah.
still.
And all those were sounding good, looking more promising. Chance could be in contention for comeback player of the year. Depending on how this album sounds. Um,
100%.
this was like at the Lyrical Lemonade when he played the highs and the lows. That was so fucking fire. Like it's unexpected, but I guess with it releasing that year, but I don't know. It was cool to see. So,
Yeah.
I'm eager to have Chance drop this year. Hopefully.
Hopefully. I think it
Yeah.
has to be the year. I thought it was going to be like in January last year.
Yeah. It
I
felt
thought
like.
it was going to be a thing because he had the Starline Gallery show in Ghana a year ago today, I think, which is crazy that it's gone by that fast. But yeah, he was just posting about today that it's been a year. I was like, wow. So anyway, we just need that next stage in Chance's career. You know what I mean? We got to get past the Big Day. I feel like we kind of have though in some ways. Like people
Yeah.
aren't really actively like
We for.
clowning Chance anymore,
Mhm.
but there definitely are people that do. Um, Even when it dropped, I was like, okay, it was kind of a fluke. Like Chance is back; he'll be back to form on whatever's next. But I didn't think it was gonna be this long of a wait to get that next project. So I think for the sake of his career, he's got to get on it. He's got to get this project out. It's got to be good. And if it's anything like what we've been seeing, it will be good. my one thing is like you just mentioned the Lyrical Lemonade 9 year show, and Chance performed, like you said, the highs and lows, but he also performed No Problem. And we need that next No Problem. Chance could
Yeah,
not be performing No Problem
in
for 5 more
2022.
years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
We need that next hit. We need that next moment, that next fan favorite. And I am confident that he'll deliver it unless he goes in like a different direction with this album and it's more like subtle, more personal, which kind of is the highs and the lows. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
couldn't hear the highs and the lows being played at a basketball game. Great song, but it's not like an anthem. It's not a hit,
Yeah, the
I wouldn't
club.
say.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So he needs some form of hit, in my opinion. But, obviously he doesn't make music for me. So whatever he does, he does.
Yeah.
And we're going to enjoy it, hopefully. But yeah, I'm just excited for this because, I mean, Chance has been my guy for well over a decade now. So I gotta get some new Chance.
Yeah, same here. So, moving on to the next pick here, we have Pusha T and DJ Drama, Gangster Grills mixtape.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, this is one you just say it, you're like, God damn, this is gonna be. I just want to hear it, see what it sounds like. Obviously, he's had Kanye, one of the best ever. Kanye producing his last two projects mostly. Throw Pharrell in there as well, and then to link up with a legend like DJ Drama, it's just something I'm very excited for. Coming off, I mean, just Daytona and It's Almost Dry. Like this is. I don't think you could top those, but if you come with something at like the same level, or I mean, shit, maybe you can top. Maybe DJ Drama go crazy. So
Yeah.
we don't have too much on it, but it's pretty heavily speculated. So we'll see. I mean, I hope King Push drops.
Yeah. Push another one, kind of going back with the same thing you were talking about the weekend and J. Cole.
Mhm.
They did some amazing things early in their career. Pusha T in the Clips days was special. And even early in his solo career, special. And he's putting out some of his best projects this late into his career, this far into his career. So yeah, I have high expectations. He's been doing nothing but album of the year contenders for a minute now. So whatever we get, I'm sure it'll be up there. Has to be. My next album, I got Baby Keem. I feel like he'll probably be on your list.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Yep.
Okay. Baby Keem, Child with Wolves, potentially the name. He tweeted that. It's his pin tweet. It's been hinted. That's a fire name.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about what the album cover could look like, what it's going to sound like. I'm ready.
This one is one where it not kind of out of nowhere, but I mean, he was it on which song was it on? Where he said back 2 years,
Scapegoats.
yeah, back 2 years to give the summary. Maybe that year's heading up to the deluxe there. I mean, whatever. But this one has gained a lot of traction within the last few weeks. I saw DMs or something. I'm ready. They're mixing and mastering this. So this is something I'm very excited to see. Obviously, coming off the Melodic Blue, this is going to be such a huge step for Keem. This is his moment now to go. I mean, to go to be one of those top guys in rap. I mean, not to say that he's not. Yeah, he definitely has a talent and everything. Like he has everything for him, all the tools around him. Everything dropped great projects so far. So this is going to be one where I'm super interested to see what the public eye views Baby Keem has after this. So
Yeah, he's been really at that verge of
uh,
stardom. It feels like I feel like he is to so many fans, but he's not like a household name. Like Family Ties was a huge moment for his career. Orange Soda, even earlier than that, was a huge moment. He keeps having these huge moments, and I think at this pace, soon enough, he's going to be a superstar. You got basically everything he touches turning into something special, whether it's on Praise God on Donda, whether it's the Hillbillies. But yeah, everything he touches basically hits. And that's what I go to Keem for. You always have some hopes that you're going to have a Kendrick appearance on it.
yeah.
He is one of those people he's tapped in with just about everybody. It feels like you could get any features. So you never know you get with Keem. I would love to see a little bit more personal side, like the scapegoats we were talking about.
Mhm.
I think that's some of my favorite Keem, as well as like the absolute just hits. I think
Yeah,
those are
yeah.
two totally different things, but I think he does those both so
Mhm.
well.
Yep, yeah, and I mean that's why he's in the position to become a household name because he can give you multiple different directions. We talked about it last week. You give people different avenues. You're gonna just have such more of a reach. You know, a lot more reach to go to. It's not, I mean, not on my list, but I mean, just to throw in a little honorable mention at the end, Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar collab album. I mean, that's not the question. That seems like it's gained a little
Yeah,
bit more traction. So, um, you know, with their set list at Camp Flog on and the Hillbillies. So,
I would
maybe
love
get,
it.
yeah, double up. Yeah, that maybe hopes too high there, but would love that as
Did you
well.
did you have Kendrick individually on your list today?
I do not know.
I do
I,
not either. Okay, so
I don't. Yeah, I. This is gonna be my hot take. I think Mr. Morales' last project. I think I said that a while
ooh,
ago. I think I said that a while ago on the air. I can't remember what episode or anything, but we'll see. I mean, I just don't get the vibe that we'll get another Kendrick project. I mean, I think he'll be active, but yeah,
mhm. I hope not. It's a good project, but I think he's got a little bit more.
something
He could do
left.
a
You
little
know,
bit more. Yeah,
yeah.
he got a little something left. We'll see though.
Moving on to my next pick here. This is one that I mean seemed right. It could have been ready last year. You, I feel like Metro Boomin. He was mentioned with a lot of names last year that are supposed to come out, but I mean it seems like all but confirmed that we're going to get the future Metro Boomin project. And this is
Mm,
one where you know, like you're just talking about, you know, who can't Kendrick feature with? You know, Metro Boomin has ties everywhere. Future has ties everywhere. So I mean, this is one where you're going to see a star-studded like album here. You know, with lots of names. I hope we get a Drake feature. Drake and Future linking back up with Metro producing. You know, it seems like their beef wasn't actually serious or anything like that. So
mhm.
maybe we get the Anita Max Win feature.
Oh, shout out to Anita Max Win. That is a superhero. Um, yeah, I didn't have this one on my list, but I'm gonna throw in the JID Metro.
Yeah.
That's not on my list either. That's what I'm saying. But
Oh.
both of those, whatever Metro's cooking, it's
Mhm.
gonna be special. And him working with both of those guys will be nice. It's gonna be great. I feel like for JID, I don't spend too much time on it because it's not one of my picks, but
Mhm.
that could be big for his career. Getting that social media presence right now with surround sound. I feel like he
It's
just needs that
crazy.
Metro Boomin album, and oh, he's gonna really, really be like a star.
Yeah, it's the same situation as Keem. You know, he's got a chance to be one of the guy, you know, one of the top dogs here. And I mean, they're already in very impressive parts of their career with, I mean, so short into their career, and you know, this is like a massive step they both have the opportunity to take. So,
Mhm. And yeah,
uh,
just to comment on Future, of course, that will have to be good. I mean, Metro and Future, that's like a recipe for a masterpiece. Um, so yeah, I need that one. All right, my next album, I have Childish Gambino. I feel like he's been kind of hinting at it. He said you'll see soon. Talk about new music. He just made another reference to it. Like somebody, I think, talked to him on the street, like uh paparazzi or whatever, and they were asking him about it, and he said you'll see soon. They love that soon word, so we never know what that means, but for whatever reason I do trust Donald. I think he might actually drop something this year. We got 315 back in 2020, and that was a surprise drop, so even if we hear nothing, it
mhm.
could just drop sometime. I would never rule that out with him. He's always got some kind of master plan, and I trust the vision. So yeah, it's been a while since we heard something from him. 315 20 was cool. It was just so under the radar because white cover, no real
Covered.
song titles. It's just COVID year. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very under the radar, but a good project. So he's one of those people like a Tyler where I don't know what it's going to sound like. He came with Awaken My Love right after he was really getting known for the raps. And then he came back with This Is America and 315 20. So you never know where you go with him, which is a great thing for artists I like. I don't want to know what I'm going into. And that's how I feel with Gambino.
Yeah, and he's one this late in his career, and you know, or not. I don't know. Well, just, you know, this far into his career, I like that. I like that phrasing a lot more. This
Yeah.
far into his career, and you know, with everything he has outside, you know, movie appearances, producing shows, stuff like that. So it's just a blessing anytime you get a project from him. So excited. I'm excited to hear. You know, we've had what fuck, we've had 3 out of 4 of our album of the months, or one of them's J. Cole this month. They're getting mentioned in these still. So
Yeah.
um yeah, well, you hear our thoughts on those two, of course. Moving on to the next one here. We got Saba, No ID.
Ooh,
This is
that's a
one,
good
yeah,
pick.
yeah. Saba, few good things. That was a top album. I've since then, Bump Care for me a ton more. Bucket List Project a little bit more. So this is one I'm very excited to listen to. And I mean, with a legend like No ID, how can this miss?
I didn't even think about Saba, but I'm glad you brought him up. Yeah, Saba, another very underrated rapper who just consistently does his thing. And like you said, with No Idea, it has to be a potential album of the year. And that's what we're looking at. My next album, I got Freddie Gibbs. Didn't get anything from Freddie last year. Again, just somebody who's very, very consistent, putting out great projects. Whatever he does, it's going to be good. He always comes through with amazing production. He works with some of the best. And yeah, I mean, you're going to get like just great rapping from Freddie, but you
Yeah.
don't know exactly how it's going to sound. But yeah, I'm always excited for a Freddie project.
Yeah, like I said, getting in is not Griselda, of course, or anything, but getting into more that type of rap there. I don't know what I want to specify that exact genre or subgenre of, but I feel like you kind of associate that all together a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Moving on to my second to last year, we got Joey Badass coming off 2000. This is one I'm super excited for. Was it we didn't see too much last year, but I felt like following
Mm.
2000 we were hearing somewhat of it, stuff like that. So I came off another top 10 project from 2022. We're seeing a trend here. A lot of these guys are getting in our top 10 of 2022.
Yeah. My last person is JPEG Mafia. We got Scaring the Hose, which was amazing. That was one of my favorite albums of the year, one we've been talking about all year last year. And we almost got it. He tweeted this week that he was going to say an apology on the 31st. So everybody's guard was out and then just surprise drop it on the first, which would have been such a fire move. But he said he's still working on it. So it's going to come sometime this year. So we do know that, which is good. I trust Peggy. He's pretty consistent with dropping. So he's another one you never know what it's going to sound like, but I need it. Some of his albums are some of my favorite of the last couple years, and another person you're really looking at album of your contender just because of how great he is with the production, just how versatile his sound really is.
Yeah, I mean, this is one, when we started this podcast, JPEG Mafia dropped, I would not listen. So,
Yeah,
this is going to kind of be a step for me. This will be his first solo project. I'll give a Friday night or, Friday morning listen to.
love it.
So yeah, here we are with that. With my last one here, we got Batgirl Riri, we got Rihanna.
Ooh,
Yeah, this is one I was like looking through. I was like, who's dropping this year? She just signed her new deal, projects this year and next year, I believe, hopefully, or with it, two projects with the next few years, tours, stuff like that. Every time Rihanna drops, it's just a moment. So, I want another moment. So she's one of like
yeah.
just the top like big dogs, so excited to hear it. Her maybe you get a Rocky feature or vice versa. So
Ooh, that'd be nice. Yeah, she's one of those people that it doesn't seem like we're gonna have an album from, but it does seem like we're gonna get it now, I guess, with that deal. But yeah, gonna be special. She's a star globally, and yeah, she's gonna just do crazy numbers when it drops. She's gonna be one that it will crash Spotify when she drops, just because it's
yeah.
been so long. But yeah, it does seem like it's gonna be a great year based on all these people we talked about. And there's still so many more that are gonna drop. Obviously, we're gonna have a lot of good music. We're manifesting that coming this year, as well as and that's just gonna lead to great episodes. Which I mean, what
Yeah.
more can we
It
ask for?
directly correlates. Yeah.
Directly correlates. One more person I got to give a special shout out to. I love my honorable mentions. Anderson Paak / No Worries or Silk Sonic. Better yet, I mean anything Anderson Paak related. I need. I feel like he's been kind of quiet
Um,
a little bit, and I need that.
yeah. I mean, another one. I'm not a big honorable mention guy, but Denzel Curry deserves it. You said he's coming with something
Ooh,
different, R&B vibe or whatever. I mean, he's coming off Melt My See Your Future, like potentially his best album, another top 10 2022 album. So, I mean, there's just a lot to be excited for this year. So,
yeah. I feel like this isn't necessarily like an honorable mention because it is just like we're just chopping it
yeah,
up. Like
yeah, yeah.
there's so many people that deserve some love. So many people are gonna drop this year, and it's gonna be amazing. Um, I'm ready. Gonna be a great year. And yeah, you're gonna want to stay tuned. We're gonna have the episode. We're gonna be covering all these releases when they drop. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you'll hear her thoughts. You'll be here to hear her thoughts. So we'll be here. So I mean, once they drop, you'll hear from us.
Of course. But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this week. We appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments. Let us know on our Instagrams. Put a story up asking what album you guys are most excited for. Go interact with that. Let us know, and we'll respond to some of them in next week's episode.
Ooh, oh fuck! Closing thoughts here. Playboy Cardi. That's another one.
Cardi was on my list. I took him off though.
It's already, it feels like it's here, So
yeah, that's why I didn't put him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been giving us a lot of music over the past couple of weeks, so I'm kind of like, I am very excited for it, but like, it's gonna happen first.
Yeah,
I should say it's likely gonna happen
within the next few weeks. So another one. There.
Yeah, versus everybody else too, where I'm like, I hope it happens. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, Cardi's in a different category. So. Yeah, shit, I hope so. Yeah, Cardi in a different category. I think that's a lock. So very excited for whatever's coming. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week with another episode. We got album of the month coming soon. I don't think it's gonna be next week. I think we got to do it on January 29th. J. Cole birthday, January 28th. So we recorded that day. It just feels right. So 2 more episodes until album of the month for your eyes only. In the next couple episodes, expect to see our artists we think are going to blow up over the next year and 1 more episode. So I would say next week is likely going to be 5 or 10 artists, how many we decide on artists that we think are going to blow up or take that next step in 2024. Kind of just love kicking off January.
We got
to come. So
part 3 is coming. So
we got to take a look back at what we talked about in last year's episode, how we did. So yeah, come back for that. See some artists. Maybe we'll put you on to somebody new. Maybe we'll talk about some artists you really like that you really believe in as well. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. We'll see you guys next Monday. Have a great week. Peace.